You brought D1 out on the road with you. D1 is one of my favorite guys, man. Such a sweet dude. He's been grinding for years too.
Yes.
But he's like an outlier in today's landscape, where he's got, such a pure heart and a message that I feel like rubs the establishment the wrong way sometimes. Yeah. But talk about like your guys' friendship and,
Yeah. So I've known D for over 10 years.
Because he's he's obviously dropped an album with Murs, but he's a Christian.
Yes. Yeah. And matter of fact, we were bonding over that.
I have his children's books over on the shelf somewhere. Yeah.
That children's book was the #1 selling item on my tour. He came out and opened for me and made the most of that. I loved it. He had a 45-minute set. He did 7 songs. It was mostly him talking about his message, his book, the whole thing. And man, he won over every single person.
It's amazing.
And he is who he says he is.
Yes.
And what I have to be, we were talking, and he's like, we both have stood so hard. When I first came in as an MC, I was not as true to Islam as he has been to Christianity. I used to curse like crazy. I used to talk crazy.
Well, he's had his own evolution as well,
To a degree.
Yeah.
But I respect him, admire him. And when he said those things, it's like I didn't plan here coming to talk about anybody. He went to Sway one time not planning to talk about anybody. But Sway was like, he was talking about glorifying violence. And Sway was like, what do you mean? And so D had just given out shoes. He does all kind of giveaways in New Orleans. He had just given out shoes that said reform on the bottom. They were Meek Mill's prison reform shoes. He's like, I just promoted this because I was so happy that Meek Mill was talking about prison reform. But he just made a song with Rick Ross and Jim Jones where they're talking about killing people. So he's like, what are we doing? Are we trying to reform prison but also encourage people to do things that go to prison?
Get them in prison, yeah.
So he said, Meek Mills, you could do better, brother. I love you too much not to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And he said, Rick Ross, you could do better. Jim Jones, you could do better.
And it turned into this thing, yeah.
They threatened his life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
2 of the 3 of those people threatened his life, and it's not a joke.
It's crazy.
Like if a head person that's deeply entrenched in the street in Harlem they went back to Sway a few days later and said, I might not touch you, but I can't stop, my little one of my nephews, one of the young guys on the block from putting in work for you just because they know you're trying to get clout off of me. That's a green light on your head at that point.
Right.
Now he has made peace with 2 of the 3 of them. Rick Ross is the only one that he hasn't. But I just saw he had pictures with Meek Mill. He got with Jim Jones. They threatened him, and it wasn't a joke.
Yeah.
And these are the people that it's like, when you look back, you say like, that is a person that really, you talking about standing on business. Everybody wants to have nice things. Everybody wants to succeed. That's not special. If you achieve it, it is special, and we're happy for you. But that's what everybody, it's a special person though that says, I will relinquish some of my success for what's right, if that's what it means. Some people pay the ultimate price. We're talking about Malcolm and Martin. Neither one of them saw their 40th birthday.
Crazy.
They paid the ultimate price. Then you talk about Muhammad Ali didn't pay that price, but he paid a price. Mm-hmm. You talking about, I didn't pay the ultimate, but I paid a price. You talking about our guy Macklemore's paying a price. And, and D1 is that dude. And it's like, ultimately, we're going to die. Like, we're all going to be, there's a place in the earth where we will be buried or burned and scattered or something.
100%.
And it's like, what kind of person do you want to be when you die? What do you want to be the story of you? And nobody ever regretted giving up status, fame, all that for what's right. Because when you die, your status is gone. Nobody knows you. There's no you to know. You know what I mean? Nobody recognizes you. Nobody celebrates you. You don't have things that other people, your grave could be bigger than somebody else. It doesn't matter. But if it's like that person in that hole stood for something, they served others. They told the truth when it was dangerous to do it because they cared about the people that were being harmed. Like that's different.
Yeah, that's different for sure. And like you said, we think back to like the Muhammad Ali thing, like history, like at that time, people didn't like what was going on. But,
yeah. And all those people that were just sitting there like, how dare you change your name? How dare you become a Muslim? How dare you walk away from these white men that invested this money in you?
Right.
How dare you say that you won't go in the military? Who are you to do any of that? And he's saying, I'm a man. That's who I am. Mm-hmm. And God made me. You didn't make me. We're here together. And I have just as much right as anybody else to say what I think is true. And whatever I have, I'll lose it all. But he did that before. They gave him a gold medal in 1960 when he was 18 in Rome. He wore his gold medal back in Louisville, Kentucky. And him and his mom and his family and everybody went to the segregated restaurants. But then his mom tried to go back without him, and they said, we don't serve colored people here. So Muhammad Ali is like, if this just means that I'm free but my people aren't, I don't want it. He threw his gold medal in the Ohio River.
Crazy.
18. He didn't know he was going to be the most famous man on earth. He didn't know he'd be the greatest champion ever. He did that because he believed in it. And I had I'm friends with his daughter, and I was like, did he really throw that? She said, I don't know, Brother Ali, if he really threw that medal in it, but nobody ever found it.
But where's it at? Yeah.
No, they went through every single thing that man owned. There's like estate sales where you can buy his dishes. Crazy. Nobody found the gold medal. I think that gold medal's in the Ohio River.